Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with black onion relish. That's right, not only is this really delicious and the perfect condiment for grilling season, but it's also going to freak out your friends. And that's like the second best thing you can do to a friend. What's the best? Help them move. So the first thing we're going to need is some very hot coals, mature coals. All right, you want them white hot. And we're going to take 2 small yellow onions. Well, I guess they're not really small. They're just not the giant ones. We're going to say like baseball size. And we're going to kind of nestle them down into the coals and sort of partially bury them. You don't need to go all the way over the top, although I guess it would be faster that way. But I didn't have that many coals, so I just kind of nestled the coals up next to it and sort of piled it up as high as I could around it. And that's really all you need to do. And by the way, I found the piling up of the coals kind of fun. Way more fun than it looks, because as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, man, that is not scintillating video. But anyway, you're going to pile up the coals like that. We're going to put the cover down, and we're going to roast that for 15 minutes, just like that. And 15 minutes later, it looks like this. And if you're outdoors grilling with people, they're going to be saying, what the hell are you making? And you'll be like, black onion relish. What'd you think I was making? So yes, those look completely charred and burnt and ruined, but they're not. That's only the outer layer of the onion burning. The inside is roasting and getting all sweet and smoky and amazing. So do not be scared by the appearance. It could be very hideous on the outside, yet very nice and sweet in the inside. Like some chefs I know. All right, so we're going to flip those. We're going to rebury them in the coals, or partially rebury, to be technically correct. And then I gave mine 10 more minutes and I started checking. What you want to look for is juice start to bubble out of one of the ends. That means the liquid in the onion is starting to boil and starts to leak out. So basically you can hear when these are getting close. You're going to hear that bubbling. You're going to see those juices leaking out. If you want to double check with a bamboo skewer, you can do that. They shouldn't be soft. They should just barely be getting tender. All right, and at that point, when you decide your onions are done, you're going to pull them out of the coals and put them in a deep, small bowl and quickly throw over a plate. And basically, we're just going to let those cool covered, and they're going to continue to cook and steam from the residual heat, and those are going to be perfect. So we're going to set those aside covered. All right, while those are cooling down, I'm going to go ahead and place a large red bell pepper on the remaining coals, and we're going to fire roast that. And you know how to do this. We've done this on the stove on regular flame. Just put it down. And when the skin blackens and blisters, turn it until it's totally charred. I'm going to throw that in with my onions, put the plate back on, and let that cool completely. All right? So I actually refrigerated mine because I had some errands to run. When I came back a couple hours later, they were ready to work with. So to finish the relish, very simple. You're going to peel off the black skin of the onion. It's going to come off super easy. And let me just cut this in half so you can see how amazing that is. Look at that. It's just perfectly roasted. All right, so most of it's going to be very simple to clean, but then you're going to have those couple layers of onion that were on the outside. I don't want you to discard those. I want you to clean those up because that's where a lot of the smoky flavor is going to come. And those pieces are even sweeter. So long story short, recover all usable onion matter. And of course, I also scraped the black skin off the red pepper, and now we're ready to chop. Now, one word of warning, these are really slippery after you roast them like this. So I don't do any fancy cuts. I just whack it a few times that way, whack it a few times the other way, and then just keep chopping until it's as fine as I want. So I went for about the same texture as you'd get with like a pickle relish. So I'm going to do mine just about like that. I'm going to do the same thing to the red pepper. And don't forget, I'm always trying to not block the camera with my other hand. So if it ever looks weird that I'm cutting one-handed, that's probably the reason. I know what I'm doing. I got skills. But sometimes I just cut it like this so you can see what I'm doing instead of staring at my hairy paw. That's not a good look. All right, so our onions are chopped, our peppers are chopped. Let's go ahead and throw in some Italian parsley. That would be good. So I chopped up some of that. We're going to toss that all into a bowl, and then we're going to season that up. And right here, you're pretty much on your own. You could dress this a million different ways. I went with salt, a good amount of it, pepper, a good amount of it. And also, I can't confirm or deny I did put a little bit of cayenne in when you weren't looking, which sounds like something I would do. A big glug of olive oil, and then definitely need some acid. I'm using sherry vinegar. I've used lemon juice. I've used rice vinegar. So many delicious options. Balsamic, yes. So we're going to give that a very good mix. And you could use it right away, but like all similar recipes, this definitely benefits by an hour or two in the fridge. So I refrigerated mine until I needed it, and then I put it in a cute little ramekin, and it was pretty beautiful, I think. Oh yeah. Cooking the onions in those coals really does give it a very unique smoky sweetness that's really hard to simulate by simply roasting or caramelizing in a pan. Now, I'm sure you did not see a sad ending coming for this video, but I served this on some salmon, and it was good. It was very good. But it's not a hot dog. And every stupid bite I took of that salmon, I thought to myself, man, I wish this was a hot dog. How come this is not a hot dog? I really want this to be a hot dog, and it wasn't. So you know what? Learn from my mistake. While this would be good on any kind of grilled seafood or chicken or pork or whatever, I really think this belongs on a giant hot dog, slathered with mustard, and then this relish piled high upon. That would be fantastic. So I hope you give that a try. Head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts and more info as usual. And as always, enjoy.